Hi, this is Frank Shamrock, MMA legend, UFC superstar, and you're listening to MMA Crib Fighting Talk.
Gregory Stone, MMAequip.com. Today I'll be speaking with brutal Jake Bostwick. Jake was set to face off against Philip Mullings later tonight at Cage Warriors 70. Before we get to all that, welcome to the show, Jake.
Welcome, mate. You alright?
I'm not too bad. Now, Jake, I wanted to get you on here basically to explain your side of the story. It's sort of a mystery. Now, you arrived in Dublin. You weighed 194 pounds on Thursday. That's 23 pounds over your fighting weight, basically.
Yep.
A lot of the fans were sort of going crazy. They was a bit pissed off that you didn't make the weight. They was excited for this fight. They was calling you very unprofessional. This were the messages I sent on the Cage Warriors Facebook page when they made the announcement.
Yep.
For me, though, just the huge amount of weight and the fact that you went over there, it was telling me that something just clearly wasn't right with you. You wasn't well. You was possibly ill. This is what I was thinking. So I want to get your side of the story. What actually happened and why didn't you make the weight?
Basically, mate, obviously, I knew I was going to be a little bit heavier than I would be for a weight cut. Obviously, yeah, 24 worked out, obviously, 23 pounds out. I've cut 20 pounds before. Okay, it was hard, but I'd done it. So I was thinking, oh, okay, 23 pounds, it is what it is. Just kind of deal with it. When I was doing the baths and stuff, I done 3 or 4 baths to start. Well, I done 2 baths on the Thursday, cut like 5.5 kilos. So I done like 12, 13 pounds, whatever. And then I done the same in the morning, done another bath, and it was all good. And I was like, oh, okay, wasn't sweating out as much as you don't anyway. And then I kind of hit a wall. I was a bit like, I feel really dry. I didn't feel too disorientated. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, you get a bit of double vision and all that, obviously, when you start cutting quite a bit. But I felt like in myself, okay. And it was like, okay, well, the baths weren't happening. So maybe let's go hit the sauna. Normally in a sauna, the water just absolutely like drains out of me, no drama. Anyway, I had sweet sweat on, everything. Tried Albaline, the lot. Got into the steam room to start, obviously, so you get a little bit moist. So cool, went into the sauna and I just dried out. Literally, I was laying in the sauna, burning, and had no moisture on me. I couldn't believe it. There's no excuse for anything. Obviously, I come to the fight obviously a little bit heavier than I should have, and I just could not get no more water out of me. There's no excuse for it. Obviously, I've messed up. Obviously, well in the wrong. It is unprofessional. This has never happened to me before. Out of 20 odd fights I've had. There's a first for everything, I suppose. Obviously, it wasn't a great timing, obviously, with such a big fight for Philip and obviously myself. But it's one of them things. It's happened now. And yeah, obviously, I know for next time,
What was Graham Boylan's and Cage Warriors' reaction to this?
Obviously, they wasn't happy. They just said, obviously, the first thing was like, am I okay? Health-wise, how am I? I was like, I'm okay. I just literally cannot get no more weight off. I couldn't understand it because I've done cuts like this before. Obviously, a little bit lighter, but I've still done big cuts. And I'd cut like 7 kilos or something. I was like, I've done like 9, like come up to 10 kilos before. And there was no reason for why it wasn't coming out of me. I really didn't understand it. There's nothing else really to me to say, Obviously, I apologise to Philip and his team and stuff, and he didn't care. He kind of threw it back in my face, but whatever, it is what it is. Yeah, what can I say? It's done now.
Has this ever happened to like a teammate of yours? Because obviously, when fighters go to cut the weight, they have like the teammates helping them, etc. So, have you ever been there and personally seen this, where a fighter usually makes the weight comfortably, then all of a sudden he just can't make that weight, his body just changes?
Yeah, do you know what? That happened once with Hussein Garabet. Don't get me wrong, he fights a lot lighter and he was only a pound out. But he literally couldn't sweat that pound off, and it was like nothing. Obviously he was pretty drained and stuff, but it was a pound, and it was like you normally make weight okay. Yeah, that's the only other situation that I've been around really for someone when they've been cutting weight. Other than that, mate, no, it's not really happened to anyone close to me that I've been around. So.
Well, you mentioned Philip Mullings, he sort of threw it back in your face. Could you tell us how those talks went? I'm assuming John Kavanagh was there, etc. Well, if you can't say what he said, what did you say to him, basically?
Well, I actually I private messaged him on Facebook. First of all, obviously just apologising and stuff, and he told me to suck dick, juice head. So I was like, okay. Obviously, he thinks I'm on the juice or whatever. Yeah. It's nothing like that at all. Obviously, I just had a bit of excess fat around my gut, and it is what it is, So yeah, he told me to suck dick. So that was that. Yeah, and then I see him at the weigh-ins because I popped up to the weigh-ins. Obviously, my guy Joe Duffy was fighting, so I went to go see him. And he said something. He made a comment. So I walked over there, went to apologise, to shake his hand. Obviously, you know, I'm sorry and stuff. And he just laughed in my face, told me to like get my hand away from him. I was like, whatever. And yeah, he just said I'm an amateur and so forth. And I just said, oh, whatever, sort of thing. Bit of effing and blinding at each other, and I walked away. That was it. But yeah, obviously he didn't appreciate it, so whatever.
Well, you've only had like 24 hours to basically digest this, that your body's not reacting to the weight cut now. Obviously, you know, are you going to go home and maybe think about moving up to middleweight possibly? Or would you like maybe do a couple of attempt cuts back down to welterweight and see if your body reacts good?
There's no reason for me to fight a middleweight. I'm very, very small for a middleweight. That's pathetic. Yeah, it just couldn't happen for me. I had that one-off fight, obviously, with Boubacar Baldé.
Yeah.
And he was massive. You know, don't get me wrong, I got the win, but you could see how fat I was for the fight. Even for this fight, I wasn't ripped up. You know, I'm never really ripped anyway. That's just not how my body shape is. But it's just a longer period of time with diet. Keeping my weight down after a fight is my biggest thing. Normally I go up to like 97, 98, 99 kilos, you know, which is pathetic. You know, I shouldn't be doing that. That's just lack of, you know, the diet and not staying consistent with my training. So I say, as soon as I get home, mate, I'll be back in the gym Monday, stay on top of things and just maintain my weight, keep my weight around, you know, about 90 kilos, nothing more than that, and just keep maintaining it, get it down to to like 84, 83, and then do my cut from there, easy, you know. When I'm trying to cut from like 86, 87, obviously it's too much.
You mentioned that Philip Mullings was pissed off, basically. Now, he was the guy who got his purse. You didn't get your purse. How does this affect you financially, Jake? Do you fight more for the sport, or is this financially for you?
The money side of things for me, I couldn't give two bob, mate, to be honest. I'd happily give Mole Peter all my money and said, like, look, I do apologise, find me at this weight. But obviously, you know, that's not the case. Obviously, he's professional and there obviously was a significant weight advantage. Yeah, but the money side of things is what it is, you know. I get home, go back to doing a little bit of teaching and just tick over. I'm not worried. The money side of things is what it is. I just fight because I love the sport and obviously I want to pursue my career and, you know, get to the top. Obviously, this was a setback and it is what it is. I can get another fight lined up and carry on again.
Well, you mentioned about lining up another fight. A lot of the fans were really excited about this bout. Would you possibly like to reschedule this bout with Philip Mullings?
Happily fight Philip Mullings, like obviously get the fight on. There's no issue, but obviously I'm guessing he'd probably want it back here in Dublin. I think the next Dublin card is New Year's Eve, and to be honest, I don't think I could miss a Christmas and stuff. I don't really want to be training Christmas Day. You know, that'd be hard work personally. I think I want to see the family and do obviously all the family kind of things, you know. So yeah, that is what it is. Yeah, we'll just see what Cage Warriors come up with and what's next for me, really.
Now, apparently, Cage Warriors tried bringing in some opponents for you both. An opponent for Philip Mullings, an opponent for you on last minute notice. Things didn't work out there. Could you tell us who they tried bringing in and what happened?
They tried offering me Henry Felipe. He's 8-8. He's a tough kid, you know. I think he offered the fight to me and to him at 185. Like 8 days ago or something, and I think Safe MMA wasn't too happy about the fact that he'd fought pretty much a week ago, and then to come straight back into another fight, and then to be honest, Graham was like, look, I don't think it's good, I don't think it's worth it. Obviously, you know, I prepped for Philip and then for Mo Peter, and then you're gonna go off example like Henry Felipe. He just thinks it's not right. So Graham obviously kind of pulled the plug on it and said, like, look, let's just leave it. It is what it is. What's happened, sort of thing. Yeah, and that was it. I don't know what they offered to Philip. I don't know who they offered him. But yeah, that's what they come with me with Henry Felipe. But yeah, obviously that didn't go through.
Well, you mentioned teammate Joe Duffy, a good friend, is fighting tonight. Will you be sticking around watching the fights, going to the arena?
Yeah, I'm going to still go to the show, mate. You know, I watch the event. Obviously, I was down in Newcastle as well, so you've got Andrew Fisher and Ryan Roddy, you know, fighting as well. So, you know, they're you know, I've got quite pally with them guys. So obviously, I want to see them do well, show my support. So yeah, I'll still be at the event later. hopefully all goes well.
Any leaving messages for your fans or anybody who was looking forward to your fight tonight, Phil? Phil, Philip Wall, Peter. Jake?
Just obviously just a big apology to to everybody. It was a mistake. Obviously, it will not happen again. It's a live and learn situation. But obviously, I do apologise for everybody, and obviously, I'll have to be back in very soon, mate. Very soon.
Okay, from the MMA Fighting Talk Show. Thank you for watching.